let me ask you something. Do you know the difference between your passion, your purpose, and your why? I get that question a lot. Most people use the three words like they mean the same thing, but they do not. And mixing them up is one of the most common reasons I see a lot of leaders that are driven. They build their businesses, but they still feel like that it's exhausting or hollow, or they feel that they traded one job for another. And I've seen it happen over and over again. For example, a woman follows her passion and she builds something around it. And a few years later, she's burned out, resentful, and wondering why doing what she loves feels like a trap. Or she knows her why and she's crystal clear on it, but she has no idea what her purpose actually is. So she keeps spinning without any direction. Or she's focused on impact and purpose, and she has completely forgotten what it is to fill her cup. So she's running on empty. See, these three things are not the same, but they work together. And when you understand how, that's whenever things started to click and everything changed. So today I'm going to break down all three and show you exactly how they're different and give you the steps on how to find yours. Are you ready? Let's go. For those of you who are new here, my name is Jenny Lopez, Latina business mentor, former Fortune 500 executive best-selling author, and also somebody who has lived one of these three different distinctions, and sometimes the hard way. By the end of the video, you will know exactly what your passion is, what your purpose is, and what your deep why is, and how to use all three to build a business or a future that is not just profitable, but sustainable, scalable, and yours. All right, let's start with passion, because this is the one that people, they think they understand, but most of the time I would say they're like halfway there. Passion is the thing you do that puts you in flow. Like, time disappears, you are creative, you will do it for free. This is your happy place. For me, that's dancing. I have been a professional dancer for over 40 years. Oh my gosh, I am dating myself. Okay, I was a chemical engineer and a professional dancer, two careers running at the same time. And for years, I also worked as an international education specialist for Zumba, teaching and certifying instructors around the world. That was fun. Okay, so dancing fills my cup. It always has. And it is a part of my personal brand too. You will see me dancing in videos, not because I'm trying to be cute and impress, right? But because it is genuinely part of who I am. It is how I stay in flow. But here's what I've learned, and this is important. Passion is personal. It is about you. It fills your cup. It keeps you creative and energized. But passion alone does not build legacy. And it does not always build a business. I had to make a decision at one point. I was generating what I call happy money through my Zumba work. And it was good, it was joyful, but I started to feel a pull towards something bigger, a mission that was calling me that I could not answer while I was spending my energy somewhere else. So I made a choice. I stepped back from that Zumba chapter, not from dancing, never from dancing, but from making that dancing piece as part of my business. I created space for my purpose. And here's what I want you to hear. It felt liberating. Not like a loss, it was like a release, because I realized that my passion was never meant to be my business. It was meant to fill my cup so that I could show up fully into my purpose. So your passion is your fuel. Your purpose is your destination. All right, so since we're talking about purpose, purpose is different from passion in one fundamental way. Passion is personal, right? About you. But purpose is about your impact on others. Purpose is your mission. It is the problem that you're here to solve. It is the legacy that you want to leave. It is the answer to this question. Why did I go through everything I went through? I started to discover mine, for example, around 2016, 2017. And it was on LinkedIn, back when we were using that only to find jobs, right? And I started posting about what I was learning, about the good, the bad, the ugly of being a Latina leader in corporate America, about empowering professionals to own who they are instead of trying to shrink and fit a mold, right? And something happened. People started responding, connecting, telling me that they felt seen for the first time. I started speaking, and when I will stand on a stage and just watch those little like aha moments in real life, that lit me up, right? And not in a way that nothing had, lit me before. Not because of the applause, because of that shift, right? Because I could see it right in front of me that something I said had changed something in somebody. That is purpose. That is the feeling that tells you, hey, this is what I'm here for. Like back in 2020, while the world was in chaos, I was having my own baby, the business. because I have finally gotten clear enough on my purpose and how to build something around it. And here's the key distinction that I want you to pay attention to. Purpose is the intersection of your gifts, your experience, and your story, and the specific people that you're called to serve. So my purpose here is not just to help women, right? It's to help leaders that do not fit the traditional definition of success, to give them permission, not that they need it, but permission to dream big, to go for it and become the role models that did not exist for us. So we never got permission to dream big, so I am giving it. That is purpose. Here's a question perhaps I want you to reflect on. What chapter of your life, the hardest one, the most confusing one, the one that are the most tempted to hide? Because what if that chapter was not a detour from your purpose? What if that was your purpose? That's what this life was preparing you for. Now, when it comes to the why, I want you to be clear. Not because your why is the same as your purpose. Your purpose is your mission. Not your why. Think about your roots. It is the reason why you keep going even when things go hard, even when the video flops, even when a client does not show up. When you doubt yourself at 2 in the morning and wonder if any of this is worth it, your surface might be, oh, I want financial freedom, or I want to help other women, or I want to build something of my own. Those are real, but they're not deep enough to hold you when the storms come. The deep why, the one that does not break, the one that, you have to dig for it. Sometimes I go 5, 7 levels deep. Keep going into something that makes you feel in your chest, right? Or maybe like a little tear in the eye, not in your head. I will tell you mine. My deepest why is my children. I know in a generic way, in a very specific way. I want my children to grow up knowing that they are not stuck in a box. That success is not just one shape, that they are resourceful, and there's always a way to go after something meaningful. I remember asking my daughter once, so Izzy, what do you want to do when you grow up? And she said, I want to be a chemical engineer like you. And I say, why? And she said, well, because you are a chemical engineer. I say, no. Let's think about what problem do you want to solve? And then she stopped and she thought about it. And then she said something that I will never forget. Well, Mom, I want to be like a doctor or a therapist that dancers can trust. Because as a dancer, she went through so many different doctors that would not see her as an athlete that she was as a dancer. And knowing that that was different from another athlete, for example, a basketball player, or a football player, a baseball player, they work their bodies in a different way. So the cool thing was to see that she saw that gap in the care system. So she wanted to fill it. So this is cool because she's not copying my path. She found her own because I asked her the right question. And that is my why, to raise my children to ask what problem they want to solve. Not the box that they're supposed to fit in. To build a business or their future that shows that any success is available to them. And every time I want to quit, every time it gets hard, I come back to that. What is your deep why? My deep why. Not the surface answer, but the one that really gets down. That's why we're talking about, that's the root. Now, before I give you the steps, I need to name something that is keeping a lot of women, specifically women, stuck. And I see it all the time. A woman decides to build her business and she follows a social media strategy because somebody told her that she could do, good money at it. She's consistent, she's working hard, but there's really no purpose underneath it, right? No real mission, no problem that she's deeply called to solve. So it's just content for content's sake. Am I hungry? Sake. So when you go to something like that, superficial, what happens is that it becomes shallow and it's not sustainable, it's not scalable. And eventually then, let's say for example, she realizes that's not really a business, right? It's just like another job. And sometimes you go and leave your job for another job with a boss that is even like more critical, and that's you. So passion without purpose is just like a hamster wheel. You're moving, but you are not going anywhere. Your passion fills your cup. Your purpose gives you direction, and your why is giving you the energy and the roots that you need to keep going even when things don't go according to plan. And you need all three, my friend. Now, here are the 3 steps. You ready? Like, write it down. Step 1, find your passion. What puts you in flow? What is the thing that you do that time disappears? Where do you feel most like yourself? Where would you show up even if nobody's watching and nobody is paying? What is your passion? Write it down. It may be something from your childhood, maybe something you reconnected after growing up. It does not have to be your business, but it should be in your life because again, that's your fuel. That's how you fill your cup, and it could be part of your personal brand, which is really cool. Now, step 2, find your purpose and ask what problem you were built to solve. Look at the hardest chapters of your lives, perhaps the one that shaped you, the one that you survived, the ones that you learned from, and now ask, who else is living this chapter right now? And what do they need that you already have? And that intersection of your experience, your gift, underneath, that is your purpose. And remember, purpose is not just about what you're good at, but it's about what you're called to. It is bigger than you. And then step 3, then find your why. Ask 5 times, why? Why do I want to do this? Why is this important to me? Why? Like a little kid. Why? But mom, why? Keep going deeper until you hit something that makes, you just feel it. You feel it. And not in your mind, you just feel it down into your core. And that's the one that is not going to break you under pressure. It is the root that holds everything together when the storms come. So write it down. Put it somewhere that you see it and come back to it every time you want it. So let me bring this home. Passion is personal. It fills your cup. It keeps you afloat. Purpose is your mission, and it's bigger than you. It's not about you. It's about the problem that you are here built to solve. And your why, remember, is your root. Is what holds you whenever everything starts to shake and not going according to your plan. And you need all 3. And when you have all of them, the 3 of them aligned, you do not just build a business, you have a calling. And here's what I want you to do right now. In the comments, tell me, what's your passion? You know, just one word, one sentence. Let's start there. Like, that's something fun. And if you're ready to go deeper, to go crystal clear on your purpose and build a business around it, join us in our free community. And the link is going to be in the description, so super easy. And also make sure you subscribe because I'm always making videos every week to help you go from corporate to CEO with clarity, confidence, and without burning out, okay? My name is Jenny Lopez, your Latina business mentor, and I will see you in the next video.